July from Nottingham, England, the World Flying Disc Federation's World Under-24 Ultimate Championships. Live all-access coverage, including semis and finals, exclusively at ULTI.TV.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the sun and the sand here in Royan, France, for the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2023. Going back to the mixed division, action between Corocotta of Spain and Beefire of Italy. Benji Rees, Hannah Pendlebury, you know what it is at this point. Delighted to be here with you for more wonderful, glorious, sunny action on the beach.
Absolutely, Benji. We just had a very tight quarter-final in the women's division, and moving our eyes over to mixed, Beefire from Torino are going to be facing up against a very talented Spanish team, even though we've got a little bit of our previous games rosters there, Corocotta, who have been cruising their way through the pool stages, and we expect this one to be one of the closer quarterfinals for mixed. Of course, some extreme star power across this division. We started off this tournament watching out Beefire.
I was going to say, you say that they breezed through the pool stage. They were undefeated, but I don't think they had it all their own way. 13-4 over AKS, 13-7 over Gleisdorf, and they finished up with a 13-4 win over Rebel. But in the middle, Universe point wins over both IFO and Terrible Monkeys. And you kind of think that Universe point win over RFO is very well done, but Terrible Monkeys playing, you know, that game going all the way to Universe, I think they probably would have liked to have won that one by a bit more, especially as they were 10-7 down late in the piece. So they're not invincible by any stretch of the imagination. They beat Panic in their pre-quarter-final. Up and down for Beefire. 12-7 win over Monkey of Grenoble. They lost 9-8 to the Ukrainian mixed team. We streamed that game yesterday, and you can watch it whenever you wish on our YouTube channel. Beefire then beat Endzone 13-7 and crashed the zone 13-5 to end the pool, and a nail-biting win in the pre-quarters, 8-7 over Disterix after being 7-5 down, a match that took nearly a full hour.
Wow. Talk about going right down to the wire. This one we are hoping will do something fairly similar. Our first look at the Spaniards who will be playing in these rather dashing yellow shirts.
I will admit, the one thing that perturbs me is that the number is not in the middle of the jersey. It's at the bottom right, which bit of a party foul.
Well, based on my ability to read shirts in stride, maybe that hip decal will help me figure out who exactly is who on these rosters. But Corocotta players to watch out for will of course be Jorge Garcia, who is leading the stats for the show. He's got currently 17 assists and 6 goals, and Irene Goicolia, who's 15 goals and 7 assists. I have a feeling those two might connect a couple of times in this game. Look out for 11-14.
Brunelli with the break around finds La Placa. La Placa into the centre, into a congested area. There was a little bit of a look out for Manzanas, wondering if maybe there was the foul going to be called, but I think he just stepped in front relatively cleanly. There was a bit of contact afterwards, now that I look at it again, and tried to adjust to make the catch behind him. Garcia couldn't bring it in. Now Brunelli. Faking the backhand, just outside the end zone now. Marlina. Back to Brunelli. Looking at the end zone, they've got the poach on that second handler. Not that Brunelli seems to give a damn, because he threads and fires it through to Andrea Molina to make it 1-0 to Beefire, a hold on the game's first point.
Well, not entirely steady, but that will do quite nicely for Ultimate Torino. Beefire, of course, well decorated from last season, snagging themselves that bronze medal finish, so they'll look to try and go 2 better if they can this season. Of course, had a spicy rematch for that bronze medal against Chuck, who were knocked out on the live stream earlier by RFO, who were looking mighty tasty. We'll be bringing you some double French action later on the stream as well, with some francophone commentary and everything.
So this is the bottom half of the bracket. Corocotta Beefire. The winner of this plays the winner of Margarita Mixed and Discolaris. And in the top half, it's Ukraine versus RFO and UFA versus FOI in the battle of the acronyms.
Yeah, there's a lot of TLAs across the mixed division this year.
Oui, oui. First O point here for Corocotta. Layout on the far side. An accepted foul call there against Andrea Crosetto. Spaniards from Santander, back in play. Reset to Manu Garcia. Trying to go up line off the give go, instead broken into the centre. Goyut. Faking the flick, not enjoying particularly what he sees. Sneaks it past the bidding defender Marino. And Marino finds an option on the far side, fired that one. Tried to scoop it with the trailing edge. And instantly ripped by Crosetto. He's looking for a target in the end zone, and Magagnotti comes out the loser up against Manu Garcia.
Yeah, fantastic battle there between 2 athletic players. Bit of a sky ball. I think, yeah, you've got a license to shoot when you're on defense, but that one needed to be a little bit more conservative, especially in the early stages of this game. Just trying to find yourself and settle.
So neither side able to score cleanly on their first offensive point. See if Corocotta can, however, put it in at the second time of asking, like Beefire did. Lovely up line pass. Defender bids. He's on the trail for a while. They cannot take advantage. Navarro. Here to Goyut. Back to Garcia. Really zinged that, and then it's right past the bidding defender, the 21 shirt of Arnelli. Goyut looking to spread the play, maybe. Doesn't like an option that he sees. He is going to go for the potential layout, and he just needed to take a little bit of sauce off that one.
Yeah, way too much of a zipper with the wind behind them. Big shout out to the sort of determined efforts of, I think it's Garcia, who just basically stepped over the head of Arnelli, almost mounting her with her pivot when she'd fallen over after making, well, I say fallen over, she'd made that layout bid.
Yeah, we're still on the sand, and Corocotta were in very much business mode. Swung to Crosetto. Crosetto looking deep again. This time, the blade, you could see that it felt like she had a good read on it, and then at the very end, it just dropped, and Stefanelli got a hand there, but couldn't just close those fingers in time. They've given their D-line license to shoot, and so far it hasn't paid off.
No, I think it is that case of, you know, early doors when you get the disc. If this had been one of those, you know, get a turnover, put a clean sort of break in after that slightly messy opening point for Beefire, that's a real statement, and that's what you have to do in quarterfinals.
Otilia Garcia. Here's the one over the top. There is a stoppage further back towards the disc. I think it's a pick, and it prevented Arnelli from getting the force on. Guyot signals, sorry, he didn't realise that it was called.
Well, you've got to run those one down anyway.
Yeah, don't take any risks.
Well, and it's so hot out here under the sun that Rapazzo's got his shirt off on our sideline.
We are sparing everyone's eyes and not putting a camera on that. Guyot into the centre, zings it into the gut of Manuel Garcia. Past the bidding defender, no! What a play by Simona Stefanelli.
Doing what she does best. The female matching players of Beefire are happy to throw their bodies around and get blocks.
So Beefire looking for an early break. That's not going to do it. Korsachka just asked way too much of Corocotta there. Being reliably informed in chat that Corocotta is the historically the most successful team in Spanish Ultimate, having won championships on every surface in multiple years. So, you know, got some pedigree behind them, more than at home on the sand. I remember them back from my days as a younger Frisbee player, ruling the roost at Paganello.
Indeed, in the chant of Otta, Otta, Otta.
Garcia, the Manu variety. Swings towards the far side. Another stoppage downfield. Guyot engaged in some discussion there with Simone Magagnotti. Neura Navarro finds the down the line option. The timing on that continuation isn't quite there. Lovely around break though, trying to distribute and spread the play. Marino. Back to Manu Garcia, and this time they can just squeeze it past the bidding defender. Arnelli couldn't get there. The receiver could, and Corocotta eventually tie us at once.
Well, that took many rounds of asking to finally squeeze that score in. Beefire definitely need to clean things up a little bit in terms of their D-line's offense when they manage to create those turnovers, but huge plays, standout layout bid, certainly from Federica Cipriani. Expect to see plenty more of those from her this game. Also, to Stefanelli, wasn't it? The 24.
Stefanelli. But we have seen Cipriani throw herself around yesterday.
Indeed. And I believe, if I recall correctly, and I'll double check the rosters, that Cipriani is playing one of two with BFD Shout this season.
Brunelli being aggressive, faking the around break. Instead goes underneath to Diaz. Back to Brunelli. What if they go back there? No, looking to try and take on an aggressive break. The Placa now tries to motor underneath. Low release, zings it, continuation down the sideline, and too far in front.
Yeah, it's real frustration in the eyes of Filippo La Placa there. Not Beefire's best work. And again, maybe it's just one of those games at the moment, Benji, where they're a little bit just flustered, not able to execute things they want to do, but took a couple of askings for their first point on the board. Can they snag that disc back?
Yeah, both sides have generated chances, but been very profligate with their opportunities. Jorge Garcia. Past the bidding Brunelli. Manzanas looking to the end zone and bang on the money. That's the clinical edge you really wanted to see. And Irina Grocolea makes it 2-1 to Corocotta.
Well, there is the statement play that we wanted to see, and the first comes from Corocotta. And we mentioned Irina Grocolea. Hold on. Benji, you seem to do well with that surname.
Guacolea?
Guacolea? There we go. absolutely dynamic. It was a fantastic throw from Manzanas.
Will get shot.
But, yep.
Will get shot.
But the hot sun baking on all of us here.
It is. To say it is warm is a enormous understatement. It is scorching, and I am very happy to be huddled in our little booth.
Yeah, we have a nice little sort of beach hut here, which we're appreciating. It's keeping us cool, although the wind is pretty present in this game as we see that one escaping the clutches.
Yeah, I just think Ceccaroni there, with the wind kind of varying the height of the disc a little bit, always safer to go for the clap catch if you've got the time. Goyut wanting to be aggressive and take on the break throw. Instead, Verdasco. Very cluttered in that handling space. Can they find a way through? Kubas. Now Verdasco again. And going with that, just that little barbecue backhand over to the forehand side. Josue Verdasco finds his target in the end zone. It's Adriana Mariano, I think, who makes it 3-1 to Corocotta.
Well, that is a very quick momentum swing in this game. Corocotta even did look pretty good coming out of the blocks. Of course, that initial stumble, but 2 clean breaks in a row.
It looks like they've certainly steadied themselves a little bit now.
Well, this is where we might have to see a bit of line closing early doors for Torino's Beefire. They've got a very talented roster, but right now they're trying to play on a level of confidence that they just don't have.
There's one thing I can tell you about this Beefire side, it's that they will, they're not going to go down meekly. They will not go gentle into that good night.
Well, they're an Italian ultimate side. I don't think that's any of those team style.
It's not in the DNA, is it?
Nope. They build them a little bit different out there. But
wonderful deep pull that La Placa catches. A little bit of a riser there, sorry, just cut you off, Hannah. Malina. Got the swing available to Fuentes. Fuentes with the dish off to Brunelli. Brunelli, it looks like he wants to really wind it up, but instead breaking around. Fuentes, knees to sand, keeps it alive. Malino trying to get a little bit of more motion and rhythm into the offense. Towards the far side, La Placa. Just a little bit of 1-2 between them. Here's Stefanelli. Looking for the break throw. Not seeing it. Trying to get it past the dump. Brunelli, with the trailing edge, kept it up. Was kind of shielded from it in just the cloud of sand that was kicked up. Now La Placa commits his body on the line.
Yeah, still not quite that level of execution we expect from Beefire, but this is better stuff. Really just taking the options they're given and cutting hard.
The synchronicity and synergy in the offense just missing at the moment, but they might be able to slowly matriculate their way down the pitch. High release over the top there from Brunelli. Malina zinging it down the sideline, came very, very close to getting a piece of it, but in the end, Stefanelli held firm and made it 3-2.
Well, Malina just throwing his body into the sand to make that goal. Big trust ball to the end zone. And if you haven't subscribed to ULTI.TV and you're enjoying this live stream, we recommend you do so. We might do something a bit interesting because we are, I think, 61 individuals away from reaching 17,000 subscribers, Benji.
We are indeed, and look, I'm looking at the bigger picture, right? Yes, you could say we're 61 away from 17,000, or we're 3,061 away from 20,000. Or so on and so forth. I'm not going to labour the point. It's hot.
Well, I mean, if you can get us to 20,000 subscribers overnight, Benji, I'll have to check your bank balance because I think you might have paid for some bots to do some clicking for us.
Wait,
but,
we can do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, everyone subscribe to our Patreon so we can buy more Patreon. Oh, that's not. Hang on, that's not right.
Is that a good use of our Patreon funds? I don't think so. But if you want us to have more coverage of more live events, more streams,
that
more
seems
crew,
like a good use of your hard-earned
Absolutely. We nearly had a very famous individual coming out to the sand to be our dedicated stats person.
Oh yeah, the mystery statman Dan.
Indeed, indeed. So if you'd
Not
like
his real name.
us to have some all-star stats keepers in our booth.
Or even just regular stats keepers, to be honest.
That would help.
We wouldn't be fussy. ULTI.TV or patreon.com/ULTI.TV as that one skims into the sand. Chance to break back here. Crosetto with the layout. Oh, she just lost her footing, I think. Did Arnelli. Looked like she was readying herself to go for it, and you wonder if he just rushed this one a little bit there, Crosetto.
Well, maybe she had her heel grabbed by the sand monster, just tripping her up, thinking, it's French sand. Maybe it's got a slight advantage for Spanish heels.
Wanting to take the break on, not there, towards the far side. Atilia Garcia. Into the backfield. Navarro continuing the swinging. Everything looking a bit static.
Well, it's fantastic match defense downfield. Sort of the communication is now completely broken down after stifling those first couple of options, but it's a nicer round.
Goyut. Cutting almost a little bit timid, maybe. I think they're waiting for just the flow to start going before they use that movement. Goyut. Foul accepted, I think, there by Pagano. Oh, by the way, you remember yesterday when I was looking for a word that I couldn't remember, and I came up with swampy. I think it was stodgy that I wanted.
Stodgy offense.
And it's a little bit stodgy at the moment for Corocotta.
Very heavy on the carbohydrates.
It just needs that, that is a bid that's come all over the back there.
Naughty.
From the number 2 of Korsachka. Put that one away, please. Breaking. Garcia. Again, it's taking the time, and you could see the frustration with Atilia Garcia. As soon as she released it, she knew. So Pagano with a leading break down the sideline. Ooh. Hefty collision. I'm pretty sure that Cipriani got that cleanly enough, and the defender there, Navarro, agrees. Cipriani sees the player open in the end zone. And Arnelli can just watch that all the way over her head into her grasp, and Beefire have earned their break back. It is 3 apiece.
Well, that was a bit of a dangerous play there. I respect going into that sideline, but even though the sort of, Cipriani does need to be obviously aware, still kind of mindful of what's happening on, but you could really tell that the line was taken, and just a bit of a poor choice from, I think, Navarro there.
In the other quarterfinals going on in the mixed division at the moment, Margarita mixed up 5-3 on Discalaris. Foy up 5-4 on Ufa of Portugal. And the Ukrainians are down 5-3 to RFO. So as it stands, we'll have quarterfinalists from 4 different semi-finalists from 4 different countries.
Oh, fantastic.
I know, I like it. And actually, across the 8 teams in the quarterfinals, only 2 of them share a nation, and that's the Spanish with Corocotta here and Discalaris.
Well, just to show how good the Spanish teams are at playing beach mixed.
All that floats over, but an adjustment made there by Tuero. Wanted to sneak it through, Stall rising, takes on the break to Alonso. Discussion about whether or not he's in bounds. On the sideline, they seem pretty happy that he was.
Yeah, the Beefire players signalling quite clearly. Melia saying, yeah, that one was good. And fantastic cat-like reactions there to make that re-catch for Manzanas.
Back in play. Trying to sit that one out. You can see a little bit of variation in the air, but Saez has it. Low. Whoa! There has been a fair bit of contact in this game, and this time it's some friendly fire as you can see he just crashes right into his teammate there, Patricia Tuero. I think he knew what was coming, and he tried to desperately halt his momentum, and he couldn't do so, and she's taken a nasty knock there.
Well, mercifully, we are not too far from the paramedics and physio tent. It's just to our left. Oh, and look at that, Pagano just carrying off almost like a what's the in mingle, what do we call that one? Newlyweds?
The just married, yeah, the newlyweds.
But carrying over the threshold of the pitch rather than into any honeymoon suite. And she'll be replaced by Gocciarella.
Yeah, and Pagano's going to come back on the field. If we get any updates on how Tuero's doing, we will, of course, give those to you.
But Pagano showing he is a gentleman.
Guacolea. Down the line option being marked out well, but bounces back towards the inside. The IO throw goes. Now, high release towards the back of the end zone. It's snatched down. There was a pick earlier in the piece. It's after going to go back there to Alfonso Alvarez.
Well, that's all right, though. Guacoella. Well done. I really need to try and put that one into my brain. Guacoella with a wonderful snag. She keeps playing so well. She's given me plenty of opportunities to try and figure out how to say her surname. We'll have to ask her after the match. And apologies to all of her friends and family that were watching this one back.
Yeah, always happy for some pronunciation guides if you've got them. And the inside through, and how much did Bianco know about that? Not a lot. How much did she get? All of it in the back of the head for the D. Pagano. Roasting the flick deep. I'm not sure whether Fuentes was ready and expecting for it. Faked the backhand and went for the flick, and Fuentes couldn't adjust.
Well, this is turning into another of those grindy points. There have been 3 clean goals in this game. One of them a Beefire offensive hold, and 2 of them those Corocotta breaks.
Yeah, I think if you look at the games, some of these sides have played, some of the games these sides have played over the tournament, it's not a surprise that it's a bit of a battling affair. Guacolea. Downfield, bid late, well held by Alvarez. Guacolea is going to have to adjust, and the wind gives the disc the wrong edge, and it floats harmlessly and helplessly into the Royan sands.
Yeah, Guacolea had some fantastic spacing in that deep, but not quite the way the throw needed to be against pretty much 0 wind conditions. And some updates. The other, which some of our pundits thought we should have streamed, the Margarita mixed Discorales games currently 7-3, very early half-time taken by the Ireland mixed team that's a real mix of nationalities.
Quote-unquote Irish.
Foy putting up a commanding performance at the moment, hanging tough with Ufa.
Yes, 6-5 they lead, and it's 6-4 for RFO over the Ukrainians. As that one down the line, Guacolea rejected it.
Yeah, Irene making a hero of herself after coming on for that injury sub.
I think players from both sides looking a little bit gassed out there. A leader down the line, brilliantly saved by Saez. Taking the reset. Just outside the end zone. And, oh, the high release backhand towards the far side. That is throwing someone open, just seeing the space, putting it out there, and letting Guacolea go and get it. And it's 4-3 to Corocotta.
Well, after a couple of asking, she's able to finally find one that suits her beautifully, and a great little throw. Alonso Manzanas putting up that one almost on a servery. So 4-3, Corocotta maintain that one break over their opponents. But this one, the toss going, of course, the way of the Italians. Beefire starting out on offense. So with not too much longer left of this first half.
Yeah, it will be half cap at 5. So Beefire with a hold here would take us into a Galaxy point.
Oof, we do love a Galaxy point.
And they need to break twice to get it back on serve going into the second stanza of this contest. That ball's going to land out of bounds, and Brunelli calls La Placa away so we can take it from the brick mark. Brunelli and Goad having some sort of discussion there. Brunelli's just going to jog the final few paces to the brick mark. Marina takes off deep. There's a poach on that reset handler, Filippo La Placa. Cipriani.
Who is not playing for Shout. I misspoke earlier.
Has played with Bologna in the past, I think.
Indeed.
Dumped off there, Brunelli. Here's Diaz into the center. La Placa just dishing and slicing and dicing, and we got a Galaxy point, folks, as Marina finds Brunelli to make it 4 each.
Yep, second time Brunelli and Marina have connected in this game for Beefire. The two lads happy to play a little bit of catch. But this one is neck and neck. Of course, the scoreline all tied up because of Beefire's advantage. Starting on offense, they trail 1 break to Corocotta. But unable to really make the use of their young athletic players are Beefire. Great defense being played by Corocotta to just stifle that movement. At the moment, it feels a lot like Corocotta are really owning the deeps, Benji.
Yeah, I just think if it feels like for both sides, if they could, really play to their best, then the game at the moment is mistake-laden enough that they could run away with it. But I think you've got to credit the defense of both sides for being able to constantly provide pressure.
Absolutely, it's that kind of like breathing down the back of the neck as we see a deep pool rolling.
Manzana's first pass goes and still in the end zone. Now Guacolea. Alonso floating it over the top. Ooh, tried to swipe at it with the off-handed Ceccaroni. And Garcia got a lot of contact into the end zone. Alfonso Alvarez makes it 5-4, Corocotta 1 break up heading into halftime.
Oh, wow. What an absolute stonker of a grab that was. Nearly a little contact from the bidding defender on the deep shot. Really interesting one, because that kind of big gainer was set up by what I would call a bit of clustering in an ugly way around the handler space. There was a moment where kind of that cut before this one that we're seeing now, that started from sort of a bit of just hanging out in front of the disc and then escaping, but just the way the defense positioned themselves, that was a really nice shot that ended up developing out of perhaps a little bit of luck.
Yeah, and Alvarez takes the gamble here, saying, I'm going to back Jorge Garcia to come down with this, and Ceccaroni, he's turning around, he's got his eyes on the disc, and he's trying to swipe it from over his head, doesn't. Bumps in, Pagano's been sucked in a little bit as well, and that means that Alvarez is free to streak to the end zone to put Corocotta 5-4 up, and they're receiving to begin this second half.
Well, buy one, get one free action for the Santander club. And of course, Santander did very well in the Open Division back at EBUCC 2022.
They didn't do badly.
Did they maybe get a gold medal?
They might have done, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
one
not
of them.
bad.
Of course, that outfit being known as a Fendisk.
It seems no matter what the division, no matter the team, the Spaniards are going to be good on the sand.
Well, practice makes perfect, Benji.
So second half underway. Here's Goyut. Goyut wants to stretch the field, and he just drops that one over the head of Pagano. Nothing he could do. Pagano just kind of has to clap his hands and accept that he got the better of him there. Nice cut from Manuel Garcia, getting a goal to go along with his earlier block and assist.
Well, that was just a throw of beauty. Watching that develop. So here we have the hockey assist. And just no hesitation. It's sort of a deeper shot. We've seen many of the teams come unstuck here out on the pitches because they throw those shots a little bit too early. But a commanding lead now, 6-4 for Corocotta.
Just a bit of discussion about what the gender ratio should be. It's even, so it should be the same as whatever it was last point, I think. Bianco's going to come on for Beefire.
It's nice to see the ABBA gender ratio rule being pretty well cemented at this stage into ultimate tournaments. Makes all the sense in the world.
Brunelli. Not sure he's mad about what he sees downfield, but he eventually finds Fuentes. The Colombian centers to Bianco. Bianco steps. Ooh, the disc comes out fluttery. Brunelli makes it stick anyway. Can he find a way through? The force is on the floor, and it means he can just toss that one up and in there into the end zone for the score.
Yeah, great patience by Brunelli, just waiting for the opportunity to open itself up, and it does. Ramirez with the score, and easily so. So a bit of a gimme for Beefire. They still trail in this game. 2 breaks they've conceded extra over the one they clawed back. So Corocotta looking in decent form, but there is still plenty of time left in this game for them to surmount a comeback as we get another look at that goal, just shy of 15 minutes. So this is the moment where they probably need to do something a bit special on defense. Getting the pull underway will be Simone Magagnotti, who's had a quiet game so far this particular stream. In the first game of the tournament, which we covered, he was having a stormer.
Yeah, I will say, I wonder how both sides are coping out there with the hot weather. You'd imagine they'd be more used to it than I am, certainly. But it's hot here, and we're in the shade in the booth. We're not out in the sun playing Ultimate. Nice toss to perhaps not be in black for. As that pull get the wrong edge and land by those spirit signs, and is going to be bricked.
Well, in terms of jersey colour, you actually sometimes want to be playing in black under the hot sun because your body heat that you're going to generate internally will be radiated out of you as quickly as possible. That's why in the desert they wear black or white or dark colours intentionally. Because black is a good radiator. It absorbs heat, but it also will get rid of heat quickly.
I mean, I think no matter what colour you wear, it's going to be mighty hot out there.
It certainly is.
Navarro. Goyut. Low, nice dish off. There's got to be the leading pass to the end zone there, surely. And it is duly delivered by Navarro into the arms of Adriana Marino for the score.
Now that timing was clockwork scenes. Beautiful stuff, really nice and confident, and making, you know, I said this is the pivotal type of point in the game where Beefire need to turn on the burners. They need to do something a little bit different to try and confuse the space. Maybe some force middle, maybe some force out. Because at the moment, they're just a little bit on the back foot. There was, I think, possibly a bit of discussions about reducing the level of contact from both teams in this game. There are a lot of heavy bids kind of that have been made. Some on loose discs, which we have seen being cleaned up. but certainly there isn't quite the same level of intensity that there was in the midsection.
So the pull goes up here from Corocotta. The placker fields it very low to the floor. A heart in mouth moment there. If you're going to catch it early. Don't make it dicey like that.
Don't toy with Benji's emotions.
Diaz. The Colombian just saying that this is a bit of a mess downfield. I'm not really interested in that until you sort it out. Swings to Molina. Molina to the end zone. A beauty to Susana Fuentes to make it 7-6. It's been a lot cleaner since the half.
Yep, and I am going to say that at the moment my emerging player of the game for Beefire is probably Andrea Molina. He has been very consistent, and actually Beefire's offense has needed that kind of presence, because at times they've just looked like their wheels were coming off. But the developer has recently returned from a knee injury, so welcome back to the pitch, Andrea. It's, no stranger to beach, played for the Italian Open team back in 2019 at the Beach Championships in Portimao.
What a weekend, what did I say, a weekend? What a week that was.
Absolutely. There's very few places we'd rather be than the Praia de Roche. But Royan is also very enjoyable.
I was going to say, at the moment, I think I'd rather be here, because that's where the ultimate is.
I think the food was better in Portugal, though.
Yeah? Shots fired at the French.
Well,
a nation famously not known for their cuisine.
I mean, in you know, the gastronomique mecca of the world, I feel like they could do better.
Navarro. The high release off target. I wonder if she was caught in two minds about whether she wanted Goyot or Marino. In the end, she had neither. Expressive high fake from Pagano. Rolling it around, and he was looking for the throw and go, and he got his form wrong. And he looks to the sky despairingly and kind of sachets away.
Well, a wasted opportunity for Beefire.
It always stings when you get a turn and then you give it right back on the first pass. High towards the sideline, and Goyot, as soon as he looked down at his feet, he knew. Pagano centers to Ceccaroni. Back to Pagano. Pagano wants to open up the arm. He's going for the backhand towards the back of the end zone. And the defender, I think, just suckered Ceccaroni into going for it a little bit early. Credit Manu Garcia there.
Yeah, on our stat sheet, he's getting the credit for the defensive pressure there. Really great attack, getting right in the money spot and causing that error. A zone coming out of Torino. I don't dislike it at this stage in the game in terms of trying to change it up and do something different.
And it very nearly played immediate dividends. Arnelli couldn't quite get the bid in place on that reset.
Yeah, absolutely. Gunning for the disc.
Garcia wants to take a bit of a more patient approach this time.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying so much how passive the zone is when it sort of all slows down in flow. It's good at creating potential opportunities for a block in the near set. But actually, Corocotta are up. They have confidence. They can afford to throw lots of passes. And the wind is not that impactful thus far in this game.
Yeah, it's picking up a little bit now. Both these sides should be ready for it. Again, Ceccaroni gets there a bit late. I think he clips Marina as he comes through. Marina saying, no, we don't need to get suckered in here. Garcia. Goyot seems frustrated. Ceccaroni seems to think that he was just in that space. It's been a fairly physical contest. Yeah, I think Ceccaroni definitely steps into the path there. Can see why Goyot's aggrieved. Doesn't matter that you make yourself small once you step into the path. I'm sure he'd argue that he had as much right to the space as his opponent.
Well, just some time to chat it through, but possession will stay in Corocotta hands.
Reset around. In the centre, Manu Garcia. Playing a little bit of give-go in the backfield. Trying to find the pass through. They do have that reset available if they want it. They do not, and you can see why, because just tosses it over the top into Adriana Marino to make it 8-6 and restore the 2-point advantage.
Yeah, it's a nice idea to put that poach off of the backhandler, especially shooting those swings against the wind, but at the end of the day, completely stepped off because there's the 2 marks. There's no real super pressure on that high release. You can see there is the leap and the attempt to make the block, but you're just too far away to really apply as much pressure as required.
So 8-6, Corocotta with the advantage. Has been trading since the half-time, which Corocotta took 5-4 and then started the second on offense as well. And they got that 2-for-none that created that little bit of separation on the scoreboard.
Well, and a quick update for our other quarterfinals. We've got Ufa Foy is still neck and neck, 10-9 at the moment. The Portuguese have won the momentum there. Margarita mixed is 11-5 over Discolares. Looks like they're going to go through. And Arefo currently 2 points clear of the Ukraine mixed, 8-6.
Diaz to Brunelli. The lefty finds Fuentes. Fuentes continuing to her compatriot Diaz, the fellow Colombian. Moving the disc well, Brunelli. Short to Diaz. The sideline being very assertive that they do not want to allow the break to go, but it does, and Brunelli with the continuation in the end zone for the score. And you can see he's trying to get the troops G'd up. Fuentes with the score.
It's really interesting, the kind of difference between the male matching and female matching marks for Corocotta. I think the male matching players are doing a really good job of stepping off that little bit, kind of, you know, really making a flatter force of it when you get closer to the sideline, whereas perhaps maybe the female matching players could do a little bit of more moving around, being a touch flatter, really making that inside break way more challenging and making the kind of players have to move and really take on those big backhand around breaks rather than the little slices through the middle that are being so effective for Beefire. But looks like a timeout being called on the field. We'll take a break here in the booth too, but be back with you after these.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
You can help grow Ultimate with us at ULTI.TV, patreon.com, ULTI.TV. For as little as a beachfront ice cream or beer a month, you can help grow the spread and growth of the game by helping us provide as much coverage of tournaments like this as possible. Mixed quarterfinal action here at the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships. Corocotta from Santander, Spain, up 8-7 on Beefire of Torino, Italy. Benji Reese and Hannah Pendlebury. Hannah, I want to talk to you about no breaks, because there was a very loud shout from the sideline during the last point. It irks me, no breaks, because surely that's the point of the fours. Would you not be better off with more precise instructions?
Pretty much. I think it is one of the most useless phrases that's ever screamed at top of pitch lungs from the sideline. Like you say, that's the whole job of the force, is to hold the force. If you get a hand block, cool, whatevs. But actually, the number one defense that you are trying to achieve is a stall out. Just putting it out there.
I think it's up there with let's use this, because we weren't going to use any of the other possessions we had.
We'll have to create a bingo card of useless Frisbee phrases. But I tell you who's not looking useless with the disc at the moment, Corocotta, getting well in stride.
That feels like a folly, a bingo card of useless Frisbee phrases, because I think we might get dinged for a few of those. Kubas. Here's Garcia. Wanted it down the line. Pivots wide. Across the field, Josue Verdasco. Marino. Can she find the reset? She can in Garcia. Manu looking for his options, doesn't like them, and calls the timeout. There's going to be a bit of discussion about this all. So while they do that and Corocotta gets some more offense cooked up, we'll take another little breather here in the booth and rejoin you very shortly.
July from Nottingham, England, the World Flying Disc Federation's World Under-24 Ultimate Championships. Live all-access coverage, including semis and finals, exclusively at ULTI.TV. We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
8-7 Corocotta lead coming off this timeout. Hannah, a bit of an update from the other mixed quarterfinals, if you please.
Oh, wow. In the UFA game, Portugal versus the Czech Republic, there's been a Callahan for a break late stages. 12-10 now, that score, which has been just trading up and up and up as we get towards the business end of these quarter-final rounds in the mixed division. And it's leveled up at 8s for Ukraine and RFO.
Yeah, Margarita Mix have booked their place in the semis, dispatching Discolaris as they do so. So off the timeout, it's given the opportunity for the slow start and trying to change things defensively.
Are we at match point in this game yet, Benji? We must be by now.
I think because we had the timeout after the previous point was scored, and we've had a timeout at this point, cap comes on when this one is scored. Manuel Garcia breaking around into the center. Verdasco back to Garcia, and Garcia is going to get a bump on the mark.
Oof. Melina getting very handsy there on the, well, I say that handsy, it's the
Kneesy.
Yeah, it's tricky to kind of, you know, have an active force and move around, you know, a slightly unpredictable surface underfoot with the sand.
Garcia takes the free reset, going to go up line, but this time don't want that shot, dumping back instead to Kubas. There's the break. Spotted it, did Verdasco and backpedal a little bit into that space. Pagano sits off on the force, but gets sucked too far open side. There's the defender down sealed. And they plant and come towards the open side, where Victor Cubas catches to make it 9-7 and game to 10.
Well, Beefire have put themselves in a little bit of a hole at this point. They've been getting their spades and bucket out all game long, have Corocotta. Just those little kind of runs of breaks to start us off, but it's just been point for point, neck and neck since we had that last break for Corocotta to expand their lead 6-4. So 9-7, game to 10. First match point for Corocotta coming out on defense. And pleased to see the return of the person whose surname I'm still going to struggle with, Irene Goicoelea. But she's been having a rocking game, especially in the deep space, owning it all over. But she's going to have to take the matchup for either Fuentes or Ramirez. Or Diaz. Diaz Ramirez. We've got so many surnames. All the surnames
Such
to
is
choose
the Spanish way.
Indeed.
La Placa. Dumped to Brunelli. I'm surprised he didn't give it back to La Placa, but La Placa's charged downfield. Brunelli wants the break. Poach off comes. They've got to recognise that. They do. Can he sit it enough? He can. And the layout score from Filippo La Placa to make it 9-8. They recognise that switch and they punished it to aplomb.
Well, normally a switch is supposed to help you play better defense, not allow your opponent to absolutely race off to the end zone. And a little bit of swaz there from Beefire, just showing us the level and quality of ultimate they're capable of throwing downwind. But with the wind now at their backs and bringing out their best 5 for offense to claim themselves a semi-final berth, I think this one might go in the way of Corocotta, but heck. We're going to get quite the display from Beefire to try and generate the turnover to claim the momentum. It's going to be a 3 female matching, 2 male matching point. Is this going to be the last of this game, Benji?
Could well be. Shout out, by the way, to Filippo La Placa's other half, who is at home carrying their child.
Doing the real work.
True.
It ain't easy growing a human.
Easy,
what did you do today?
Easy for me to say as someone who neither has nor expects to have any children.
Well, this is the latest running of all of our quarterfinals. Right down to the wire.
Yeah, and they've crossed Brunelli over to the D-line now, have Corocotta. Corocotta? Beefire even, excuse me. That one in through the centre. You could tell that Crosetta was waiting for it. Brunelli shoots it. We've got Universe. That's why you brought him over. Trying to throw it through the congested centre of the field. Good communication. Crosetta turned, bombed it to the floor, and then burned deep for the bookends and Universe.
Oh my goodness, we have a thriller on our hands. Some naysayers thought that this might not be a close game. It might not be worthwhile putting on the stream, but this one going to Universe point, giving us thrills and spills and chills in the booth. So that final score, good crossover. All right then, all star, all power. Leave it all out here on the sand type stuff.
So for Beefire's D-line, Susana Fuentes Velez, Simona Stefanelli, who's got the disc to pull, Federica Cipriani, Andrea Pagano, and Nicolo Brunelli. For Corocotta receiving, Adriana Marino, Zulema Saez, I think that's Manu Garcia in number 7, second in the frame. It looks like Irina Goicolea. And now Jorge Alonso Manzanas receiving the ball. First pass, just a little flip to Saez, low. Kept alive by Garcia. Now downfield again, Goicolea committing her body.
Well, pick call. Pagano getting a bit caught up upfield. Just going to have a chat about it. I think that's pass will stand. He's just got to get his clear path through. Oh no, going to go back.
So there'll be a little bit of discussion about what the stall is. Broken to Saez. Fuentes trying to make herself big on the mark. Losing yards with the reset. Corocotta always going to float. Second opportunity available, maybe, no.
Well, that could be the moment that Corocotta will look back in dismay at. Beefire, eyes on a second attempt at a podium finish. They got dirty gold last season, that bronze around their necks. Hunting this one down.
Pagano rips it downfield. I don't think that Stefanelli's going to be able to get there. She is not. You see Brunelli turns like, what was that? That was not the play, but I understand looking for Stefanelli, the leading goal scorer, 15 of them so far, just not on that occasion.
Absolutely, started playing her ultimate, Trinity College Dublin. So plenty of friends on the sidelines here. But a second opportunity. But we love a universe point finish where both teams get a shot at the goal.
Always, it feels underwhelming when someone just slowly marches it down for the score. For Torino, there's hoping there's more drama to come. Alonso sneaking it through. Garcia pumping the backhand. Jorge Alonso Manzanas. Back to Manu Garcia. They've got that open up the line. Oh, it came out so weird, and Alonso was equal to it. Now reaching out with the right hand to snag that one, Saez.
That was horrendously good, Benji. I don't even know what's going on.
It was an awful throw that required an awfully good catch. And I think as Garcia was planting to come underneath there, he came through the knee of Brunelli.
Well, at the moment, this is the first time we've seen Corocotta really pushed up against the ropes. And I have to say, Benji, their upfield movement, they look a little bit scared.
For Beefire, they always come close at the end. But imagine if they could have this intensity for a whole game. Another layout this time from Garcia. Down it's low into the bucket for Saez. You can see the disc warp a little bit, I think, as she caught it. Goicolea into the hands and continuing through to Saez. Trying to jink free as the reset. Again, looking static downfield. Goicolea past the bidding defender. Cipriani picks herself up. Still count rising. Can she find an option going towards the break side? She can. Garcia. They're going to have to work for it. Breaking down the sideline. Goicolea jumps it into the end zone. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat as Corocotta will take their place in the semi-finals with a 10-9 victory over Beefire.
Oh, be still my beating heart, Benji. What a way to finish that match, and nobody else to do it. Irene Goicolea with that goal. A bit of footwork just to make sure. I was just my heart in my throat finishing that one off. Looked scared, but then confidence and resolution came through.
We're going to have to wrap this one up quickly because open quarterfinals are about to start any second now. 33 Tours from France up against, well, national opponent Chrysalis, also from the host nation here, France. We're seeing some replays of that final point, but we're going to leave you now for Hannah Pendlebury and all of our ULTI.TV team. Benji Rees saying we'll see you on the other side for the open quarterfinals. What a game!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.